Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Hayden Raven, and welcome to Camping. Now, this is a game that came out on itch.io just a few days ago, and it's a narrative. And again, I'm going to have to work a little magic with some background music because I don't believe that we have any here. But as you can see, you can listen to my melodious voice as we go through this little adventure. So join me into camping. After 5 hours of driving, you finally pull into the parking lot of the park with Susan. Susan is your girlfriend. She looks happy. Get out of the car. You get out of the car, then you get a sudden eerie feeling. You're unsure of yourself. Ignore the feeling. Ask Susan if she has the same feeling. I'm going to ask and be smart. You ask her if she feels the same way. She says that she does, but not to worry about it. Let's go back. We have to ignore the feeling then. Okay then. That's always smart. You shake the feeling off and proceed to take the camping backpacks out of the car. Take the bags out of the car and head towards the gift shop. You enter the gift shop. It's a small gift store with animal puppets, nature books, and information guides about the camp. There's a small older man behind the desk. You walk towards the man. Susan and I tell him that you have reservations. He looks at you in surprise. You wonder why. He says, sorry, it's just that we haven't had a lot of campers here lately because you know what your name, son? What? What's your name, son? That was odd. Tell him my name. What is my name? My name is Hayden Raven. That is my name, sir. You tell him your name is Hayden Raven. He scans through the computer on the desk repeatedly, saying your name as if your name is lost in a sea of others. I'm going to sneak a peek at the screen. You look at the screen. You see that your name is the only one on the list. He proceeds to repeat your name anyway. Hayden Raven, Hayden Raven, Hayden Raven. Aha! I found it. Your campsite is on the hill named Silent Creek. He then looks at you nervously. Ask what's wrong. He responds, nothing, son, nothing. There's a question here. What's wrong with you? He points at you awkwardly. His face is drenched in sweat, and he has a large, uneasy smile plastered on his face. Chuckle. Ask him what's wrong. I'm curious. I'm not going to be stupid. He says sorry and brings his fingers down. His face brushes deeply. His face? What is face? I'm going to go with face. His face bushes deeply. Well, that camping ain't gonna camp itself. Go along now, shoo. Have some fun with you two, he says in a daddish tone. Leave the building. You leave the building. Susan, that was strange. Haha, chuckles, awkward chuckles. Discerning chuckles. Look back, take out the map. You don't need a map to go with your gut. Look back. You look back and see the old man waving at you, and you and Susan wave back. I'm going to take out a map. You take out the map, you see Silent Creek on the map in blood letters. On all the other trails have been crossed out on red pen, but you can still see the names of each trail. You go along with the trail that the map shows. Susan looks over your shoulder to look at the map and points at the crossed out trails. Ooh, we should check out those trails. Decline and say it's dangerous. Heck yeah, we totally should, dude. I'm going to say no, it's dangerous. You say no, we shouldn't. There's probably a reason why it's crossed out. Aw, is Hayden Raven too chicken to see his scary trails? She then proceeds to make chicken noises. Decline again. I'm gonna be smart. She pokes your cheeks. Aw, you're no fun. Okay then. Good for you, lady. You continue to walk. Susan looks disappointed in you. You see your trail. You pass the signs that the trail maps on it. You swore you saw claw marks slashed across the signs covered in some dry blood. But you convince yourself that you were just seeing things. You walk into the thick of the woods. You look deep into the woods, but you barely see past the first layer of trees. As you struggle to look beyond the trees, the shadows get progressively darker. By all the shadows, there is barely any light that has reached past the leaves. You and Susan put your camping bags down next to an entrance and proceed into the dark trail, surrounded by thick woods all around. As you keep walking, you feel as though if something is watching you. Look around, check on Susan, who's behind you. I'm going to look around. You look around and spot half of what seems like a face behind a huge old tree. When you try to focus on the object more in the dim light, you finally see that it's just a rock. But you could have sworn you saw something. You wanted to take a closer look. You walk towards the tree. Something jumps out at you. Susan yells, "Hayden Raven, no!" You have died. Go back. Okay. Wonderful. I wonder what killed us there. Check out on Susan. Make sure she is okay. You look behind yourself to only see the long trail that you have been walking on for what seems like ages, but you don't see Susan. You freak out, but you notice that she is clenched onto your arm. She looks freaked out. Super freaked out. Ask if she's okay. You ask Susan if she's okay. She says that she's but a little scared and slips away from your arm. Time passes and you haven't said anything to Susan. You hear a distant scream. Susan is no longer behind you. Where's Susan? Run towards Susan. Scream. Keep going and ignore them. I'm gonna go towards her. You get extremely worried and feel guilt and major regret. You run as fast as you can towards Susan. Distressing calls and screaming continues. It stops suddenly. All of it is quiet. You feel as if you're not alone. An eerie presence fills you with fear. Walk closer to where you heard the screams. You get closer to where once was Susan's screams that are now a memory that will forever burn through your mind of her blood-curdling screams that will never distance itself from your mind. You get to her distressed spot. You see half of her carcass sitting in a pool of her own blood. Her arm has been ripped off along with her legs. The muscles of her body is exposed. Blood and mucus are oozing from the openings of her mouth. Her eyes still wet with tears and distant stare as if they were still searching for you. You look up and see the monstrous beast standing over her body. It has snake-like eyes, horns, large sharp teeth, with no lips, and a pointed skull. Its body is hunched over, and large hands with sharp claws, and dog-like legs with very large claws. Its teeth and hands are drenched in Susan's blood. It is still feeding off of what it has stole from her body. You are filled with rage and guilt. You feel as if you are going to do something stupid. Run towards the beast. Try to run away and need to find anyone you come across. I'm going to run towards the beast. You scream in rage, running towards the monster. Your rage, guilt, regret, and love for Susan, and how you failed to protect her, couldn't be controlled now. As you run towards the beast, it looks at you. You feel the urge to turn back. Why? I want to blindly rush this beast. You realize what you were doing was a huge mistake and stop yourself before you get too close. As you are running, you hear a stomping of feet behind you. You turn slightly to get a glimpse of what is following you. It is a monster slowly catching up to you. You run faster and faster, but not fast enough. On the left, there's a tree that you may be able to hide behind if you can get to it in time. The beast can pass you. On the right, there's a small opening into a thick wood. You can slow him down in the thick foliage and escape. I'm going to go right. That's my instinct. You run into the woods and jump over a few thorn bushes and other plants. The beast is behind you, struggling to get past the first layer of plants. You think that you are safe until you see it rip the plants from the ground, making an opening. You run faster but trip over a root. Of course I trip over a root. You struggle to get up. Your leg is sprained. The monster catches up and stands over you. It doesn't hesitate before it tries to scratch your chest. You turn as quick as you can, and it ends up scratching your arm. There's a pocket knife in your pocket. I'm gonna kick it. You kick the beast in the face with your good leg. It backs up, recovers from the wound. You see it trying to lick the blood that is coming from its tooth. It looks at you and seems angrier than before. Okay, so it doesn't look like I can actually do anything with that choice. I'm going to try the pocket knife, I guess. You slide your pocket knife out of your pocket, and quickly as you can, you throw it directly at the monster's face. Why would, again, ad laga theory, why would you throw the knife to try to kill something? Why? It starts to bleed out and runs away to care for the wound. You are exhausted, so you lay there and rest. You describe that, oh, crap. You decide that you are too exhausted to get up, but unfortunately you see a hungry wolf staring at you. You no longer have your pocket knife, and you are unable to get up. It runs and jumps at your face. End. Okay, I'm gonna get up. You get up and have large pain in your leg, but you are unable to run still despite this. You struggle, but you manage to get out of the woods. You run towards the light at the end of the trail. You keep running and don't look back, happy that you're soon to be free. You make it out of the trail and sprint towards the gift shop. You finally get inside, but the small old man is no longer there. Walk to the desk so you can call the police. Go to your car so you can get out of... That's a smart thing to do. You run to your car and get in successfully, so you drive off and don't look back. ready to go home and get help if you can. Let us see if we did the horror movie thing to try to call the police. You go to the desk, and the little man is no longer there, but there is a telephone and fully functional. You pick up the phone and call the police. You explain a lie or the truth about what happened. You see, if I say the truth, they're not going to believe me. But if I lie, you explain to the police that there was a psycho cannibal who has killed Susan and tried to kill you too. You tell them that a little man who had taken your registration or camping never warned you about any of this and has disappeared. The police seem to be in disbelief, but tell you that they have sent some police and an ambulance to come and help you, but you are relieved and sit down to take all of what you have experienced. You feel you are tearing up and start to sob. The end. Okay, so let me see what happens if I tell the truth. You tell them what actually happened and they don't believe you. They tell you that you are wasting their time, they hang up. Give up. You decide that there's no use in trying to go again, so you get up and go to your car. You run into your car and get in. And get home, get help if you can, the end. So ladies and gentlemen, I do believe this is the end for camping. Let me just run over to the page and make sure I got this right. Indeed, ladies and gentlemen, this is in fact camping, so this is where I end my game here, but I believe this story involves many different choices, so why don't you play this for yourself? The link is down in the description below, and see what kind of ending you get, because you might have a macho manly ending, or a sissy ninny ending, or perhaps you get the smart ending, which I believe that I have, is the escape ending. So, ladies and gentlemen, I must bid you a good evening and a good night. I'll see you.